Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever wondered what separates the people who seem truly fulfilled, focused, and fearless from those who are constantly overwhelmed, uncertain, and stuck in the same place? What if I told you that the difference isn't luck, talent, or even opportunity, but rather the mindset they live by, shaped by a few powerful principles? Today, I'm going to share something that has the potential to completely shift how you think, feel, and act every single day. These aren't just tips or motivational cliches. These are the 7 rules of life, timeless truths that once understood and applied can unlock clarity, peace, purpose, and unstoppable drive. So if you've been searching for a way to take control of your life, to rise above negativity, to stay centered in chaos, and finally become the person you were meant to be, this is the moment to lean in, because what you're about to hear might just change everything. It's not because you're lazy or unmotivated. It's often because no one ever handed you a blueprint for how to actually live with clarity, peace, and purpose. Today, that changes. Because there are 7 simple rules, yes, just 7, that when understood and truly applied have the power to completely transform the way you think, feel, and show up in the world. These aren't abstract ideas or fluffy concepts. These are grounded, proven principles that successful people quietly live by. Rules that shape their mindset, drive their decisions, and build their resilience in ways most people never see. This is not about hype, it's about habits. And if you're ready to stop merely surviving and start truly living, then these 7 rules are exactly what you need to break the cycle, shift your perspective, and take back control of your life, one principle at a time. Let me ask you this, have you ever felt stuck? Like life keeps throwing one challenge after another your way, and no matter what you try, you just can't seem to push through? Be honest, raise your hand. I get it. I felt that way too. Most of us have at some point. But here's something important to understand. Life isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. The reason most people stay stuck or overwhelmed isn't because they lack intelligence, strength, or ability. It's because they're living by a set of internal rules that are holding them back. Rules shaped by past experiences, societal norms, and limiting beliefs. Today, we're going to challenge and replace those beliefs. Now, picture this. Waking up each day with complete clarity, energy, and drive that makes you feel unstoppable. Imagine no longer being burdened by your past, no longer paralyzed by fear, and not letting others' opinions dictate your life. Think about living with complete confidence, total freedom, and the firm belief that you're in control of your happiness. No matter what life brings, you know you'll handle it. The truth is, there are only 7 fundamental principles you really need to understand. 7 straightforward rules that can reshape your thinking, your relationships, and your path to success. Today, we're going to explore each of them, one at a time. Are you ready? Say yes. Say it like you mean it. All right, let's begin. Make peace with your past. Don't let it dominate your present. Think of your past like a novel. You've already finished. The pages are set. The plot can't change. Reading it over and over won't rewrite a single word, yet so many people keep themselves stuck in those chapters. Reliving hurt, disappointment, and missed chances. They carry their past like a burden, allowing it to influence how they think, feel, and act today. But here's the real truth. The past only has as much influence as you allow it. Have you ever made a mistake and played it on a loop in your head? Maybe it was a broken relationship, a missed chance, or a big failure. The issue isn't what happened, it's how much emotional energy you keep investing in it. The past is over, it doesn't exist anymore. What keeps it alive is your attachment to it. That doesn't mean you should ignore it or pretend it didn't happen. It means you need to acknowledge it, learn from it, and then release it. Every experience has helped shape who you are. Hardship built resilience. Failure taught valuable lessons. Betrayal taught boundaries. What matters is carrying the wisdom, not the pain. Too many people define themselves by what's behind them. They say, I am this way because of what I've been through. But that's just a narrative you can change. You are not your past. You are who you choose to be today. If you keep reopening old wounds, you miss the chance to create a better future. When you dwell on what's behind you, rob yourself of what could be. It's like being locked in a cell of your own, making clinging to moments that no longer exist. Forgiveness plays a key role here, not just forgiving others, but also forgiving yourself. We all make mistakes. We've all caused pain. We all have regrets, but growth can't happen if you're still punishing yourself for something that's already over. The past is a lesson, not a sentence. The only question is, will you move forward or stay stuck in the same cycle? One powerful way to let go of the past is to stop repeating the same old stories. Every time you revisit how someone hurt you or how life treated you unfairly, you reinforce that narrative. Your words influence your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your life. So start shifting the narrative. Tell stories of growth instead of pain. Talk about what you've learned, not just what went wrong. Trust that time is a healer and be patient with the process. When you're in the middle of pain, heartbreak, failure, loss, it can feel never ending. But the truth is, nothing lasts forever. Not pain, not setbacks, not even the darkest times. Time has a way of softening the sharpest wounds, if you let it. Think of the hardest thing you've ever gone through. At the time it felt unbearable. Now, as you reflect, it may still exist in your memory, but does it hurt the same way? Likely not. That's time doing its work, slowly, consistently. Healing doesn't happen in an instant. It happens day by day. But healing can happen if you keep reopening the wound. If you stay in environments that trigger the same pain, if you keep replaying the same memories, you're delaying recovery. It's like breaking a bone and refusing to let it heal properly. Emotional healing requires space, trust, and patience. Many people rush it. They want instant relief, instant clarity, instant closure. But life doesn't work on demand. Sometimes closure doesn't come. Sometimes pain lingers longer than you want. But rushing the process only slows it down. When hardship hits, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? Maybe it's teaching patience. Maybe it's showing you your strength. Every challenge carries a lesson. And the sooner you search for that insight, the sooner healing can begin. So trust in time. Trust that even if you don't feel it, healing is happening. And trust that one day this pain will just be a part of your story, not the entire plot. Now let's talk about something that holds a lot of people back, worrying about what others think. From childhood, we're conditioned to seek approval. As kids, we want praise from adults. As teens, we want to fit in. And as adults, we still chase acceptance, just from different people. We stress over opinions, what coworkers say, what relatives expect, what society thinks is normal. But the truth is, living for approval is an endless chase. You can't please everyone. My opinions are like distorted mirrors. They rarely reflect truth. One person might admire you, another might criticize the same thing. If you keep trying to meet everyone's expectations, you'll lose who you are. And let's be honest, people aren't thinking about you as much as you assume. Most are caught up in their own worries, even when they do have opinions. Those views are not facts. Think about it. Have you ever misjudged someone before knowing their full story? Others have done the same to you. People only see a small part of your life. They don't know your full journey. Yet we often let shallow opinions define our worth. The fear of judgment is one of the strongest prisons out there. It stops people from being honest, from taking risks, from chasing dreams. Some never go after what they want because they're scared of failing in front of others. Some stay in unhappy relationships to avoid judgment. Some hold back from bold decisions because they fear criticism. But here's the hard truth. Whatever you do, someone will have an opinion. Act boldly. You're reckless. Play it safe, you're boring. Speak out too loud. Stay quiet, too passive. There's no winning that game, so stop trying to win it. Imagine for a moment that the opinions of others had no weight on you. What would you do? How would you live? What choices would you make? That freedom is possible. It begins the moment you stop asking for permission to live your life your way, if you choose to. The only opinion that should truly influence your life is your own, because at the end of the day, you are the one living with the consequences of your choices. No one else walks your path, feels your emotions, or faces your daily challenges. So why hand them the power to shape your life? There's incredible strength in being your authentic self. When you stop chasing approval, you start gaining respect. Letting go of the fear of judgment unlocks a kind of momentum that can't be stopped. People will always have something to say, but it's up to you whether those opinions define your path. Instead of getting caught in comparison and judgment, shift your attention to your own progress. Comparison is one of the most subtle yet damaging ways we lose our happiness. In a world where everyone's best moments are on full display, it's easy to feel like you're falling short. You scroll through social media and see someone traveling the world while your days feel stuck on repeat. You hear about a friend getting promoted while you're trying to make ends meet. You see someone smiling in a perfect relationship while you're still healing from a breakup, and suddenly your life feels smaller and less fulfilling. But remember, what you're seeing is a filtered version of reality, not the full story. Every person is on their own unique path. Some succeed early while others take more time. Some people marry young, others find love later in life. Some appear to have it figured out while others are still exploring, and all of that is perfectly valid. Life isn't a competition, and there's no single route to happiness. When you compare your journey to someone else's, you're ignoring the completely different circumstances, struggles, and experiences that shaped you both. It's like comparing a seed just planted to a fully grown tree and wondering why they don't look the same. Think back to a time someone misunderstood or judged you without knowing your full story. Maybe they assumed things about you that weren't true, or dismissed your pain because they didn't see what was really happening. That likely felt unfair, maybe even painful. Now think about how often we do the same to others. You never really know what someone else is facing. The person who looks like they have it all together might be fighting a battle you can't see. The person who seems lost could be right on the edge of a breakthrough. Everyone is carrying something. That's why comparison and judgment don't serve us. Instead of putting your attention on others, turn it inward. What do you want? What brings you joy? What steps can you take right now to move forward in your own life? The only person worth comparing yourself to is who you were yesterday. Real growth isn't about beating others. It's about becoming better than your past self. When you stop comparing, you lighten the emotional load. You stop feeling behind. You stop worrying about how others live their lives, and you begin to fully embrace your own. You start recognizing your progress and appreciating where you are today. The truth is, from a young age, we're taught to seek approval. We want our parents to be proud, our teachers to notice us, our friends to accept us. We learn to behave a certain way, dress a certain way, speak in a way that gains approval. And as we grow, that need for validation doesn't disappear, it just changes form. We begin to worry about our image at work, how strangers see us, and what society expects of us. We start living in a constant loop of fitting into roles, afraid to step outside what's considered acceptable. But no matter what you do, someone will always have an opinion. And here's the bigger truth. Those opinions are not your responsibility. Every person sees the world through their own filter based on their upbringing, values, and life experiences. Two people can look at the exact same moment and have completely opposite reactions. One may see you as bold, another as reckless. One may admire your kindness, another may dismiss it as weakness. You can't control how others interpret you because it says more about them than it does about you. You could spend your entire life molding yourself to meet everyone's expectations, and it still wouldn't be enough. The more you adjust to please others, the more distant you become from your true self. It's exhausting and endless. If your self-worth depends on external validation, you'll constantly feel like you're falling short. You'll always feel like you need to be more, do more, or change more. But the moment you realize other people's opinions are not your burden to carry, everything shifts. That's when you experience freedom. There's nothing more powerful than someone who embraces who they are without apology, someone who speaks their truth without fear of being judged, someone who makes decisions based on what aligns with their values, not on what will impress others, someone who stands firm in who they are, even if it doesn't please everyone. When you stop living for approval, you stop fearing rejection. You stop second-guessing your every step. You stop shrinking to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. Fear of judgment is one of the greatest obstacles to success. Think of how many people never took the leap because they were afraid of criticism. How many dreams were put aside out of fear of looking foolish? And here's the irony: the loudest critics are usually the ones who never tried. The ones who speak the most. Meanwhile, those who are truly succeeding, the ones building, creating, living fully, they don't have time to judge your life. They're too focused on their own. No one else is living your life. No one else is walking in your shoes. No one else feels what you feel, faces what you face, or dreams what you dream. So why let them shape your decisions? You're the one who has to live with them. The only voice that truly matters is yours. The moment you stop looking for approval is the moment you gain full control over your life. Let go of the comparisons. Stop judging. Focus on your own journey, because comparison will drain your joy, weaken your confidence, and kill your motivation. It's too easy to look at someone else's life and feel behind. You see someone younger doing more and question if you've done enough. You see a happy couple while you're still single and wonder if something's wrong with you. You see someone thriving and ask yourself why you're still figuring it out. But what you're seeing is just the surface, a highlight reel, not the full picture. No one has a perfect life. Everyone is going through something, whether you see it or not. Even the most successful looking people carry burdens you know nothing about. The couple that looks happy in public may be facing struggles in private. The person who always appears confident might be wrestling with self-doubt. That's the issue with comparison. You're evaluating your full, unfiltered reality against someone else's carefully selected highlight reel. You're measuring your behind the scenes against their best moments. And that's never a fair comparison. Everyone's journey is different. Some people achieve success early in life. Others take more time to discover their path. Some meet their life partner young, while others experience heartbreak before finding someone who truly fits. Some lives seem smooth and effortless. Others are filled with obstacles. But there's no universal timeline for success or happiness. There's no rule book for when things should happen. The only timeline that matters is yours. Judging others is just as damaging as comparing yourself to them. It's easy to look at how someone lives and assume you know what's best for them. It's easy to criticize their choices, beliefs, or lifestyle. But judgment often stems from our own insecurities. When you judge someone, you're projecting your own doubts and assumptions onto their life. You act as if your experiences make you more qualified to determine what's right. But they don't. Just as you don't want to be judged without context, you shouldn't do that to others either. One of the best ways to break out of the trap of comparison and judgment is to focus fully on your own growth. When you invest your energy into becoming better, appreciating where you are, and recognizing your progress, you stop worrying about where others are. Instead of feeling jealous of someone else's success, let it inspire you. Instead of criticizing someone's decisions, remind yourself that they're doing the best they can with what they know. Instead of wishing for their life, take action to create your own version of fulfillment. No two journeys are the same. No two struggles are identical. Everyone is figuring life out in their own way and at their own pace. The more time you spend watching others, the less time you spend building your own path. The more you judge, the more negativity you allow into your own mind. The only competition that matters is between who you are today and who you have the potential to become. The only meaningful comparison is the one between your current self and your growth over time. The focus should be on your own progress, happiness, and development. And sometimes the best thing you can do is stop overthinking. It's okay not to have all the answers. Overthinking is a quiet barrier that blocks progress, chips away at confidence, and steals peace. It creates imaginary problems, exaggerates fears, and keeps you trapped in hesitation. Your mind gets caught in loops of what ifs and worst case scenarios, analyzing every outcome to the point of paralysis. But no one has everything figured out. Life is uncertain. No amount of thinking can remove that. Clarity doesn't come from thinking it through forever. It comes from doing. Sometimes you only find the answers by taking action and learning along the way. Trying to control every little detail will wear you down. You can't predict every outcome. Breakthroughs come when you trust yourself enough to act even when things aren't perfectly clear. The mind is powerful, but it's meant to serve you, not control you. When overthinking takes over, it clouds the present and builds fear instead of faith. Real growth happens when you step outside of your comfort zone, not when you stay stuck analyzing every risk. And at the core of it all is this truth: no one is responsible for your happiness but you. Happiness doesn't come from things. It doesn't come from relationships, job titles, or achievements. It's not something you find out there. It's a mindset, a decision, a practice. Too many people give away their power by attaching their happiness to things beyond their control. They wait for the perfect job, the perfect partner, the perfect timing. But happiness isn't in the future, it's in the present. No one else can give you lasting fulfillment. No level of success, no amount of praise, no possession will create true happiness unless it's coming from within. Relying on others to make you feel whole is risky because it puts your emotions in their hands. Real freedom is when you decide to take ownership of your emotional state. Happiness is about choosing gratitude, focusing on what you can control and appreciating the small, meaningful moments. Life will always come with challenges, but your happiness is shaped by perspective, not perfection. And remember this smile, not because everything's perfect, but because you don't carry all the problems in the world. A smile is one of the simplest yet most powerful things you can give yourself. It shifts energy, it lightens the moment, it builds connection. Life is full of stress and setbacks, but there's always something to be thankful for. Our minds naturally focus on problems, on what's lacking, on what's going wrong, but intentionally shifting your focus toward even the smallest good can change your entire day. Smiling doesn't mean denying your struggles or pretending things are fine when they're not. It means showing up with strength, with hope, and with the intention to keep going, even in pain. There are people who care, moments of beauty and reasons to move forward. And sometimes that smile is not for the world, it's for you. It signals to your brain that things are okay. It eases tension. It reminds you that life has light.